Do you ever wonder if freezing bread is just a way to save it from going bad or stale? But what if I told you that freezing bread not only prevents waste, but can actually make it healthier, safer, and even tastier when done right? Stick around, because today, we're diving into the science of why freezing your bread is one of the smartest things you can do in your kitchen. Let's start with the basics. Why freeze bread in the first place? Bread, especially those without preservatives, goes stale within just a few days at room temperature. Staling is when the bread loses moisture, causing the bread to dry out and become hard. And even worse, the bread can start growing mold even faster in humid environments. One way to prevent this is to freeze the bread. If you freeze it properly, your bread stays fresh for months, locking in flavor, texture, and nutrients. As food science experts, we always say that the best time to freeze bread is the same day it's baked or purchased. This is because freezing delays a natural process called retrogradation, where starch molecules begin to crystallize and push water out of the bread structure, making it stale and dry. Freezing slows this process dramatically, almost hitting the pause button on your loaf of bread. If you're enjoying this video and will love to see more helpful tips like this, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss anything I upload. Here's where it gets really interesting. Freezing bread can actually lower its glycemic index. Glycemic index gives an idea of how quickly a food can raise blood sugar levels. Foods like white bread or white rice have a high glycemic index, and so when you eat them, they are digested and absorbed quickly in your body, which causes a rapid spike in blood sugar. This is why individuals with diabetes are advised against eating too much white bread. On the flip side, foods with low glycemic index are digested and absorbed more slowly, causing a gradual increase in blood sugar. The good news is, frozen and then toasted bread can cause a smaller spike in your blood sugar compared to fresh bread. That is because freezing, then reheating, causes some of the starches in bread to turn into what's called resistant starch. This type of starch isn't broken down and absorbed in the small intestine like regular carbs. Instead, it behaves more like fiber. In this way, it takes a lot more time to digest, thus leading to smaller or gradual increase in blood sugar levels. So if you have diabetes, managing blood sugar, weight, or insulin sensitivity, freezing your bread and reheating it later before consumption could be a game changer. All right, now let's talk technique. If you want to freeze bread like a pro, don't just throw the whole loaf in the freezer unwrapped. No, don't do that. Here's what to do instead. The first thing to do is to slice your bread. Freeze individual slices instead of the whole loaf. That way, you can always grab only what you need to consume, instead of having to thaw the whole loaf. The second thing is to make sure you wrap the bread slices well. You can use parchment paper between the bread slices to prevent them from sticking. Then seal tightly in a zip bag or airtight container. Remember to squeeze out any excess air to prevent freezer burn. It is always a good idea to label and date your bread before placing them in the freezer. This gives you an idea of when you place them in the freezer. Most bread typically stays good in the freezer for up to 3 months. Now here's a pro tip you can do if you have a little bit of time. Freeze bread slices flat on a tray first, then stack them in a bag once frozen. This keeps their shape and prevents them from squishing each other. You can also leave them in the bread bag they came in. If you use this, just make sure it is sealed tightly before you put the bag in the freezer. When you're ready to enjoy your frozen bread, you can just take it from the freezer and straight to the toaster, oven, or even air fryer. If you have neither of these appliances, you can simply toast the bread in a pan on the stovetop. This re-crisps the outside while warming the inside and enhances flavor. You can also defrost the slices on the counter, but remember that they may get soggy as you thaw them. For whole loaves, reheat in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius for about 10 to 15 minutes. It'll taste like it just came from the bakery. Freezing bread isn't just smart, it's convenient. So when you need a quick breakfast, just grab a slice and toast. When you're packing school lunches, no need to thaw overnight. Just grab and make use of them. Or if you're hosting guests, you can just pull out a few slices from the freezer and whip up garlic bread in minutes. Freezing bread reduces food waste, saves money, and also has health benefits. So, next time you bring home a loaf of bread, don't let it go stale. Freeze it and unlock a bunch of benefits you probably never expected. Give this a try and tell me in the comments. Have you frozen your bread before? Or is this your first time? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more food science tips that actually make your kitchen life better.